Welcome back, loves, or welcome to Shadow Notes. I'm Scarlett, and it's Friday Fun Day. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think we all probably need a little more. So, this morning, I tripped over a laundry pile, spilled coffee on a sock that hadn't even made it onto my foot yet, and somehow I managed to get into a full-blown argument with my dog. She was barking at absolutely nothing. Honestly, it was probably a ghost with too many opinions. The joys of having a Pyrenees. And I was like, Sonny, can we please not do this today? And in that moment, standing there in one sock and righteous chaos, I thought, why do I still feel like I have to apologize for existing like this? The answer, I don't. And honestly, you shouldn't either. Today's episode is all about the things that I no longer apologize for. And maybe it's time you stopped too. If you've ever found yourself saying sorry before expressing an opinion, making a request, or even just breathing too loudly, then this one's for you. I used to be the queen of unnecessary apologies. I would say sorry for asking a follow-up question. I'd say sorry if I needed help. I even apologized once for crying quietly in my own room, like I was disrupting the vibe of the air. Somewhere along the way, I'd learned that existing too loudly made me difficult. Needing things made me needy, and feeling things made me dramatic. And so I made myself smaller, softer, easier. I muted my emotions, rounded out the sharp edges of my opinions, and only spoke up when I could make it sound sweet and palatable. But here's the thing. Shrinking doesn't earn you love. Shrinking earns you silence. The people who benefited from me playing small were never the ones holding me with care. So now I unlearn that every day. Now I breathe a little louder. Now I say, actually, that doesn't work for me. Now I exist in my full volume, even if my hair's a mess and my life looks like a tornado of dog fur and emotional whiplash. Let's normalize that. Let's normalize telling the truth, even when it shakes. Let's normalize not softening our edges to make room for people who wouldn't flinch at cutting us. These are the things I no longer apologize for. And maybe, just maybe, you don't need to apologize for them either. So one of the first things that we're going to talk about is needing space to think. Sometimes I just vanish like a full-on Houdini. No texts, no social medias, no emails. The world, poof, temporarily muted. One time, I went full ghost for 2 days after a week of nonstop chaos. Phones buzzing, dogs barking, life's usual tornado. I didn't even tell anyone because honestly, I wasn't sure I could explain the feeling of my brain hitting no signal. When I came back, I had a barrage of messages, some concerned, some confused, and I just laughed because I realized I didn't need to explain why I needed space. Space is a gift we give ourselves and not a crime to justify. What about you? When's the last time that you needed to ghost on the world just to catch your breath? Go on. Lean into that memory for a second. You deserve that kindness from yourself. And go ahead and get out a pen, because when you have those moments in life, I have an affirmation for you. I give myself permission to pause. Space is my sanctuary, not my sentence. So the second thing on my list, taking longer in the shower. You know what's sacred? A hot shower where no one can ask you for anything. The dogs can't follow you. The cats can't stare at you like you've personally wronged them. Nobody needs snacks. Nobody needs answers. It's just you, the steam, and a moment where the world finally shuts up. I used to rush through it, tell myself it was indulgent. Now, the shower is my sanctuary. It's where I talk to myself. I reset my nervous system, and I whisper, "You're doing fine," into the conditioner bottle like it's a tiny therapy session. So yeah, if I'm in there for 30 minutes, I needed all 30, and I'm not sorry about it. Next on our list, we have saying no without a reason. I used to think that every no needed a full report. Like I owed a detailed explanation for protecting my time and energy. I'd go all Sherlock Holmes on myself, trying to find the perfect excuse or the softest way to say it. One time I said, "I can't. I'm busy with, well, just stuff." Totally cringe, right? Now, no is a full sentence, period, full stop. If I don't want to do something, I say that doesn't work for me. There's no need to dress it up or add a footnote. And honestly, when I started practicing this, I noticed something wild. The world didn't end. People were respected more than I expected. And guess what? Saying no frees up the space for all the hell yes moments. What's a no you've been hemming and hawing over? Imagine saying it clearly today. How would that shift make you feel? And an affirmation for when you need to just say no. My boundaries are sacred. I say no without guilt or shame. Next, we have not texting back immediately. Okay, so real talk. I usually do text back right away because most of the time I've got my phone in my hand. I've got nothing else going on, and I like to keep the conversations flowing. But sometimes my brain just short circuits. I see the message, I mentally respond, and then I go chase a dog or start organizing a drawer that I forgot existed. And then it's hours later, and I'm like, oh no, I forgot to reply, and now it's weird. But you know what? Life's weird, and so am I. If you love me, you'll get your answer. Just maybe after I've wrangled a dog, made a snack, and stared at the wall for 10 minutes, and then remembered how words work again. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just being me. And I'm absolutely not sorry about that. What about being too much? Oh, the drama, the tears, the big feelings, and the bigger laughs. I remember one time I cried so hard over a series finale. We're talking full on ugly cry, mascara running like it was auditioning for a waterfall. And instead of hiding it, I texted a friend. "I'm a full-blown mess, but I'm also fabulous." And she laughed and said, "That's why I love you." Because here's the thing. Being too much means that you're fully alive. It means you're not apologizing for your pulse. Now, I want you to think, what does being too much look like in your life? What parts of your wild, unapologetic self are you secretly proud of, but still feel like you should dial down? Hold that thought. I have another affirmation for when this happens. I am perfectly imperfect. My fire is my power. And then wanting magic in my life. I want wonder in my life. I want spells and altars and books that smell like secrets. I want to pull oracle cards before emails. I want to talk to the moon before I talk to people. I want to cry while stirring my coffee because the vibe shifted. And I used to shrink all of that, hide it, package it up in more normal words. But the truth is, this is who I've always been. I believe in signs. I believe in energy. And I believe in my own magic. I don't need you to believe it too. I just need you to not step on my altar on the way out. And then here's a big one that I know most of us deal with: resting without being productive. Rest used to be my villain. If I wasn't doing something, fixing something, or making something happen, I felt like I was failing at life. One day I was so burned out, I literally sat on the couch, staring at the ceiling, counting ceiling cracks like it was a competitive sport. And that's when I had to relearn. Rest is not laziness. Rest is radical. It's rebellion against what a world that prizes hustle over healing. It's the radical act of saying, I matter enough to slow down. If you're listening and your brain is buzzing with the, but I should be doing, I want you to stop right there. Take a breath. You are not lazy. You're human. What's one way that you can honor rest this week with no apologies attached? And an affirmation for when these times do happen: rest is my right and my recharge. I embrace it fully. So for me, there wasn't one big dramatic aha moment where I woke up radiant and unbothered. It's a slow build, 100 tiny moments where I realized I was saying sorry for things that didn't need apologies, like being tired, like being quiet, like having a tone when I was just being honest. The last time I truly felt it, that click in my spirit, I had just downplayed something I was proud of because I didn't want to come off as braggy. And I caught myself mid-sentence. I remember thinking, why am I making myself smaller for someone who wouldn't even notice if I dimmed my light completely? And that's when I knew I was done. I can be kind and still hold boundaries. I can be soft and still speak boldly. I can be powerful and still be me. No shrinking, no justifying, no more apologizing for showing up fully formed. So this episode's journal prompt is: what's something you constantly find yourself apologizing for, but deep down, you know that you shouldn't be sorry about? What would it feel like to just stop? So, hey, warrior, if you're sitting with all of this, feeling seen, or maybe a little shook, I want you to know that you're not alone. We're in this messy, wild, beautiful life together. Remember, don't shrink. Don't explain. And hell no, don't apologize for the sacred, wild magic that is you. If this episode made you laugh, cry, or whisper finally to yourself, I'd love for you to do one or all of these things. Share it with someone who needs permission to stop apologizing and start owning their glorious selves. Leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It really helps grow this little corner of Shadow and Sass. And if you want to support me directly, check out my coffee page at coffee.com/Shadow and Sass. Every cup of coffee fuels this work and keeps the magic flowing. Shadow Notes drops every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Chaos, clarity, and shadowy truth, all wrapped in love. Catch you soon. Stay loud, stay soft, and stay sacred.